Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Gananaham Tva Ganapati Gumhavamahe Kavim Kavinamupamastravartamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrinvan Utibhisnita Sadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Ganesaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivardham Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopasantaye Yasya Dviradavaktradyah Parishadhyah Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tam Asraye. Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Geeta Mritam Mahat Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. With Bhagavan's grace, we will take up Trayo Dasodhyayaha. Trayo Dasa. Dasa is 10. Trayo is 3. 3 plus 10 is 13. Adhyayaha. Right? Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogaha. Now, I don't know what your book has got, but generally there is the first slokam can be missing from some versions, and that slokam is as follows. It's very important because Arjuna asked Krishna, Swami, you always talk about Prakriti and Purusha and all that, as Bhagavan has been teaching in so many slokas in the past. So he says, what is this Prakriti? What is this Purusha? And I also want to know about Kshetra Gyan. What is it, Kshetra? What is knowledge? He's asking. What is knowledge? Okay. Jnanam come. But what is it? And then what is it to be known? That's the first thing Arjuna asks. So, embracing divinity through the one indweller appearing as many embodiments. Chapter 13, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yogaha. Vibhagam is a very important word. How the one appears as many, that is called Vibhagam. One appears as many. It's actually one. And so what is the appearance as if they're separate, but they are not really separate. So that's where the word Vibhagam is used. So appearing as many embodiments. Okay. Arjuna said, my dear Kesava, I wish to learn about nature and Purusha, the indweller, the Kshetrajna, and his embodiments, the Kshetra, knowledge, and that which is to be known. And very simply, the whole adhyayam will be summarized for you, because it's very important to understand this. Bhagavan, in a very simple, even a child can understand it. He simply, very briefly describes whether you call it Prakriti, whether you call it Kshetra, they're all one and the same. Now, we call it Kshetrajna, or whether you call it Adhyatmam, or you call it as Purusha, they're all one and the same. There is really no difference. But in this Prapancham, which is also another name for Prakriti, what is happening, there are only two things. One is what is known as Jata. This is Bhagavan saying in a very summarized form. So I'm sharing that and then we'll go through a slokam. So one is called the Jata, one aspect. It's not two things, but two aspects to it. The first aspect is the Jata. The other is Chaitanya. Jata means lifeless. Chaitanya is the one that gives a life. Putting it in another way to understand it in a very simple manner, one is a seen and the other is a seer. Okay? And in Sanskrit, the word they use is drishyam. Drishyam means that is something that is seen. And the one who sees it, the seer, is called drik. Okay, the drik and the drishyam. And one, in putting it in a very personal way, now, because we have to make this personal in order to relate and touch Bhagavan, okay, we should not keep him separate from us, is very simple. When you say aham, okay, aham is the Purusha. Aham is the Kshetrajna. And when we say idam in Sanskrit, this, and that becomes the jata or the prakriti or nature or whatever we call it. Now, then the question may come, ahamkaraha, we saw that. Nirmamo nirahankaraha, we just saw that, right? And what does Swami mean there, ahamkaraha? Here, in our modern managerial language, we use the phrase called paradigm shift, okay? And that is something that we need to do in the field of spirituality. It's really nothing more than a very important but subtle, very slight but most powerful paradigm shift that we have to do. What is that shift that Bhagavan is talking about? Very simply, now if I say this is my body, when we say this is my body, I am keeping myself separate from the body, right? It's something that belongs to me, but I am not the body, right? We all say that, this is my body. The moment I say this is my hand or this is my shirt, then we are attaching ourselves to the body. It is as simple as that, okay? The body is mine, but I am not the body, right? So that's a paradigm shift. That is what aham and idam. So ahamkaraha, when Bhagavan is talking about nirmamo nirahankaraha, aham is the one that is doing everything, okay? Without the life force, nothing can be done. We all know that. That life force is aham. Instead of thinking that it is a life force that is doing it, aham as the life force, as Bhagavan within me is the one doing everything, I falsely think I, the body, is doing everything. My mind is doing everything. That is what Bhagavan said, nirahankaraha. Leave that away. So that is basically the essence of this adhyayam. Then Bhagavan is going to describe what is, why is this called Kshetrajna, a very important lesson in the word itself, and what is the difference between Kshetrajna and Kshetra and Kshetrajna, and then what is the Kshetra is made out of. All those things will come in this adhyayam. Okay, so let us continue. So that is the essence of this chapter. Okay, so the idea is to know the Kshetrajna, to know that you are the Kshetrajna. Okay, that is the important message from this. Not to be confused with body as the owner. Arjuna said, "My dear Kesava, I wish to learn about nature and Purusha, the indweller, the Kshetrajna, and the Kshetra, the embodiments, knowledge and that which is to be known." Arjuna uvacha, "Prakritim Purusham chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnameva cha etat veditum ichchami jnanam jneyam cha Kesava." Arjuna uvacha, "Prakritim Purusham chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnam eva cha etat veditum ichchami jnanam jneyam cha Kesava." Padangal are Arjuna uvacha, "Prakritim Purusham cha eva Kshetram Kshetrajnam eva cha etat veditum ichchami jnanam jneyam cha Kesava." He says, Arjuna uvacha, "Prakritim Purusham chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnam eva cha etat veditum ichchami jnanam jneyam cha Kesava." Kesava, he addresses, "My dear Kesava," he says, now, Prakritim Purusham cha eva, thus, Purusham, Prakriti, and Purusham. We call Prakritim, the loose word we use in English is nature, okay? Purusham, we use the word Purusha because we are not able to translate that appropriately in English, okay? So, Prakritim Purusham cha eva, Kshetram Kshetrajnam eva cha, and Kshetram Kshetrajna, then Jnanam Jneyam. Jnanam means knowledge. Jneyam means that which is to be known. Okay? Or you can also call it as knower. Okay, putting it in another word. So, knowledge and the knower. Etat, this way, Ichcha, Veditum, to know. Ichchami, desire. I desire, Kesava. I want to know. I wish to learn what these are. Arjuna uvacha, Prakritim Purusham chaiva Kshetram Kshetrajnameva cha etat veditum ichchami Jnanam Geyam Cha Kesava. Slokam number 2. Sri Bhagavan said, O son of Kunti, this body is called Kshetra. The one who is conscious that the Kshetra is a temporary place of residence is Kshetrajna, the embodied self. So say those who know. This is where most of your books will start with this slokam. Some of the books, not most of the books. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidhiyate yetadhyo vetim tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tat vidah. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidhiyate yetadhyo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tat vidah. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Padangal. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidhiyate yetat yo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tat vidah. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidhiyate yetat yo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tat vidah. Kaunteya, son of Kunti, says, Idam. See, the word Idam comes again. Idam, this, Shariram, the body. Kshetram iti. Kshetram, thus. Abhidhiyate is called, is described. Okay? Abhidhiyate. Yaha who yetate this veti knows tam him kshetrajna iti. He is kshetrajnan. Thus, tat vitaha, people who know that truth, prahuhu, they say. Very important to understand. Now, we say body in English and we just move on. But look now how in Sanskritam, how our ancestors have, or teaching us. In Sanskritam, the Sanskritam word that is given to any given thing describes the quality of that thing, really, when you look at it. Okay, if I say Krishnaswami, my name, then I must really understand what Krishna is, what Swami is, and try to conduct myself accordingly. When we say Manushan, we say Manusha, we say, right? Man comes from Manusha. So Manusha comes from the Manava, we say. Manava means Manava, one who is not new. Okay? And that is one meaning of it. Another meaning is coming from his lineage of Manu, which means he is basically mind-driven by the mind. Okay? So Manas comes from that word. So that way you got to understand the Sanskritam description of words that we use. Even if you say lotus, there are so many words to describe lotus, right? So here, why I'm saying this background, Bhagavan uses the word Shariram. Shariram does not mean body. We cannot loosely translate it like that. Shariram means something that wastes away. Please understand that. So our body is something that is wastes away, right? It's always going away. Now, same way, another word that we use to describe body in Sanskritam is called Deham, right? Deham means, if I tell you Dahanam, immediately you can understand what it is. Dahanam means something that is burnt. That is the process of burning is called Dahanam, right? And so our body is going through the same thing. It is not only undergoing a constant Dahanam, but also ultimately it is a burnable item, right? So that is why our Sanskritam, these various words are given. So Shariram, now Kshetram, what is Kshetram means, just talking about that for a second, Kshetram denotes, in fact Arjuna asked the question, I don't know whether that comes here or not, but the moment Bhagavan says, this Shariram is Kshetra, Swami, how do you say Sharira means something that is being wasted away? that is also a Dehi, that is being undergoing Dahanam all the time, and ultimately it is going to be turned into ashes by putting in fire. How do you call it Kshetra, he says? Why is it called Kshetra? Why? Because Kshetra has got some beautiful meanings associated with it. What is it? Some of the meanings associated. First, the very word we say, I went to a Kshetradanam, sir. We go to various temples and all that. We call it Kshetradanam, right? What does it mean? It's a repository of some exalted, phenomenal accomplishments. That is what this entity we call as body in English, or Shariram, or Deham, or now it is also called Kshetram. That is the significance of that. We got to understand the meaning behind the word Kshetra. This is not just a body, okay, composed of the 5 elements. No. It is the repository of great accomplishments. Now, what are the great accomplishments? Okay, then the another thing that people translate the word Kshetra into English is Kshetra is translated as field. Probably that is what you have in the translations you have in front of you. Now, the field is a very important translation. What does it mean? A field is something that you sow some seeds into it, or you plant some saplings in it, and how well the seed comes up and how well the sapling comes into a plant depends upon what? The quality and the characteristics of the field, isn't it? Same way, the word Kshetra, when you assign it to the body, what does it denote? It denotes based upon the quality and characteristics of the field is what the reaping is going to be. What are some of the examples? If you do meritorious deeds with this instrument, that is called Shariram, that is called Deham, and that's also called a Kshetra. If you do meritorious deed, what is the fruit that you enjoy? Happiness, bliss, and peace of mind. All those things will come. If the same tool that is used to do evil deeds, what is going to happen? Only sadness and misery and worries and fear and everything will come. So what you sow is what you reap. Now, by the same token, if I sow the seeds of Jnanam, I sow the seeds of Bhakti using this body, then what happens? The thing that you reap will be nothing less than moksham itself. That is why this is called Kshetra. That is why the repository of phenomenal, exalted accomplishments are possible only through this entity, this tool that we call as body in English, is also called Kshetra in Sanskritam, in addition to being called as Shariram and Deham. Okay? So, idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram iti abhidhiyate. Now, etat yo veti tam prahu. Now, the one who knows this, that this is temporary, this is burnable, and this is wasting away, and this is also a tool to be used to go somewhere else, to reach divinity itself, to become one with divinity itself. That, the knower of that is Kshetrajna. To put it simply, Bhagavan is going to describe this a little bit more later. It is a life force, the conscience that we have, the consciousness that we have, the awareness that we have, the thing that guides us and makes us do things, and also kind of sitting there as a witness. All those things are included in the word Kshetrajna. Sri Bhagavan uvacha idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidiyate etadhyo vetitam pravuhu kshetrajna iti tatvidah. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.